Hey, so I've been following these guys for a while. Dylan, Dave, Brian. We just linked up here in LA and got a little lift in. Squeeze, good. Keep your abs locked down. Good. Squeeze hard. There it is. So what'd you take away just from the little tweaks?
Well, what I took away is like, it's just easier to come to the gym, right? And like, for example, on the dumbbells and get that stretch reflex out of the bottom, maybe, you know, foot of the elbows a little bit and like that type of stuff. But when you really sit there and think about it, like where your core needs to be, being in alignment and all that, it like, one, you're gonna build more muscle, and two, you're gonna have more longevity.
Squeeze hard. They don't listen to me. I'm 38, I've been on YouTube since 2008. They don't want to hear from Vince anymore. All right, they want to hear from you guys, and the word nobody's using is longevity. That's gonna be the new sexy word.
2019,
it is.
Right?
Yeah, I came out with a coaching program, Sustainable Transformation Blueprint, and people are like, what is this? But sustainability, longevity, I think it's the key, and honestly, checking the ego and chasing the form, which is like, I know something that you preach all the time, is something that I have to challenge myself to do, but hey, if you're in it for aesthetics, if you're in it to grow muscle, there's always gonna be that trade-off. And it's cool to see that both David and Dylan, you guys are fortunate to have had great mentors and know how to train the right way, but it's just not preached enough.
So why? Why? What's the deal? Why do you guys so insecure? Like, you guys don't find your identities in how much you lift, do you? Yeah. Like, what's the deal? Is that the situation?
No, I would say that like, it's just because it's, especially when you're younger, right? Like, let's just say you're in high school, you jump into the gym, you know, someone out there is benching 285 and you're like, oh, I want to bench 290 then, right? So then you adopt this method of training where it's like, how can I get 290 from here to here? Not how can I get it there safely? How can I get it there so when I'm 40 I can hit it? You know what I mean? It's more like, I need it from here to here, whether the back literally is hitting like the roof, whatever the case is. And I think for us, it got to that point, and then, you know, posting, like, then people kind of expect you to be maintaining that amount of weight being lifted all the time. So there's like that pressure.
What pressure do you feel, man?
For me, because I mean, social media is like, people do post like basically their best image, like their highlight reel stuff. So for me, I'll do things as good as I possibly can. So I want to make a post, whether it be a YouTube video of a training workout or like a picture, I'll get it as best as I possibly can in terms of like pictures, like for example, like having the best pump, the best lighting, the angles, right? And I'll create this image of me that's literally a decent far-fetched away from like how I actually look on person on a day-to-day basis, and I start maybe identifying as how that picture looks, and then I have pressure when it comes to posting because I don't want to post anything that's inferior to that, so I create an unrealistically high standard. And when it comes to training, the same idea comes across as I only film it from like good angles and stuff, and then basically, yeah, it just creates an unrealistic, unhealthy expectation for the people watching, and for me, it's also not a healthy thing. So what I want to kind of do maybe in like 2019 and moving forward is to transition away from that and go into what Vince is basically describing, just overall like longevity in pretty much every aspect.
I respect that, man. You takes a lot of courage to say, hey, I'm gonna redirect. Second pause in the bottom, man. Own it in the bottom. Pause, control. And hey, I want you guys to give these listeners one piece of advice, because how do you achieve your performance goals with the pressure? Specifically, you three guys, you guys have followings. People are paying attention to your Instagram, you know, you got those vanity metrics that can start to pull you in the direction that can give that dopamine spike, you know, so how do you manage it? I want to hear how you guys manage the vanity metrics while also, and how you're going to do it moving forward without, you know, sacrificing your joints in the process.
You know, we're speaking to humans at the end of the day. That's on the other side. We see these likes come in, we see these comments. But at the end of the day, that's an eating, sleeping, breathing human being, and they can tell whether something's authentic or not. People respect that now. I think, you know, the consumer's a bit more educated now, and they can tell. So just showing up authentic, you hear these terms thrown out a lot, but authentic and vulnerability, and just showing that I'm in this for longevity goes much further than, hey, hit a 600-pound deadlift today, and now I'm gonna be on my back in bed for a week, right? So,
my main takeaway would be to get there, to be able to have the longevity, would kind of be to pay attention to your form from the beginning, or it's not ever too late to kind of take your ego away if you've been lifting for a year, 2 years, 5 years, because I've been lifting for that long, and I'm just now getting to the point where I'm realizing I have to take my ego away.
Elbow out. There it is. Good stretch. What's your advice to guys? I could tell you guys are all natural. By the way, natural's in, guys, all right? Lean is in, 'tis the season is to be lean, all right? What's your advice to the young guys or anybody who wants to start renting their body?
I'm not an advocate. No.
Not an advocate either, no. You know, I'm in this for the long haul, and you know, I'm not gonna hate on drugs because, you know, there's IFBB pros that willingly choose to do it in a very educated way.
I'm talking about it from the mindset of taking a shortcut.
Oh, taking a shortcut.
I'm not talking about professionals who need to do it, like the professional bodybuilders. Sure. I'm going to be a professional bodybuilder, it comes with the territory. I'm talking about the guys that are coming in for a shortcut.
Sure thing.
Right. They're taking the orals to look good for a photo in 3 days from now. They're coming in for the vanity.
More harm than good.
Because that's the conversation we're having.
Yeah, more harm than good. You know, going the unnatural route, I think. You know, and it sticks with your psyche. You know, when you're with yourself alone, you think of these things, right? You know, what am I doing to my body? Am I fully educated on what I'm taking? There's not even a lot of like the full breadth of research when it comes to like the repercussions of these things that, you know, we take that are becoming much more popular. So, best route, training, nutrition. You can look phenomenal with a natural physique, regardless of genetics. It's the truth, and it's not talked about enough.
There it is. Reach.
Let's go. I'm with you.
Hey, thanks for coming on, guys. Hey, you guys already know who these guys are. These guys don't need any introduction. David Lage, Dylan McKenna, and Brian DeCosta. Go follow these guys. You guys all have YouTube channels, right?
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, these guys, of course, they got YouTube channels. Instagram followings, we'll put their stuff below. You're probably already following them, but hey, I love hearing what you guys are saying. You guys got to lead the charge. All right, you got to show these young guys that it's not worth it. All right, you don't want to rent your body. Trust me. Yeah. I'm a business coach now. I'll tell you, the worst guys that I work with are the guys who are on the juice because they've taken a shortcut, and you can't take shortcuts in business. The guys that make the least money in business are the steroid users because they're, for the most part, because they've taken a shortcut in their physiques, and now they're looking for a shortcut. They've got that entitlement mentality when they're starting to build their business, and there's no shortcuts in building anything or going anywhere worth going. So play the long game, guys. It's worth it, and you won't last all these guys who are peaking in their early 20s, all right? That's my advice. Thanks, guys. See you all later.
See ya.
See you, man.